Okay, I want to start off by saying this. Behind every great black man, is a great black woman. Y'all have heard this before. It's been in history books. When it wouldn't be a Martin Luther King without a Coretta Scott King. You have your Rosa Parks, you have your Betty Shabazz, you have your Asada Shakurs. But there's been strong women. And even though I've said this year there's been a lot of like rise of black women, and but I still can't help to think to myself there's something missing. Like, if you were to ask me who would you consider our versions of a Betty Shabazz or a Sada Shakur or, someone like that, I couldn't give you, or Angela Davis, I couldn't give you an answer. I really couldn't get. Do I feel like women has been, like rising in this world? Yes, especially our black women. Yes, I will say that many a times. And this is not to insult black women. Like like when I'm like in my 50s and 60s, I would like to tell, some of my grandkids, about the women in my timeline, just like my father would tell me about the women in their timeline and the people we know in our history books. Like, who would you, cause who would you consider, you know, someone like that in our timeline? I can't think of one. I really can't think. Now what? Now be mindful. Understand why am I saying this? And when you think of the women back, yes, they was for the civil rights. They are women, but they was also for the black culture and all that other stuff. And I don't. And it's like for some reason those them specific women, like when you hear them, their name ring bells. That's why you bring up the Betty Shabazzes, the Angela Davis, the Harriet Tubmans. Is like in most of the and let's be honest, in most of these civil rights movements, the black women was doing their thing. Now, I any black women, I'm going to ask you this: any black women now, because I don't want to be right about this. I really don't. Maybe I'm looking at them now. Maybe they have potential, but in like what 20, 10, 20 years later, would I remember them down the road? Because to me, I don't care what anybody say. Whole culture, I don't know. I just don't fuck with whole culture personally. I don't fuck with whole culture. I don't understand why. There's y'all could call me misogynistic and all that shit. I just never understood whole culture and this slut walks, and because I feel like you giving power to people that doesn't they're just not deserving your power. Like you taking the word slut and hold back. I never agree with that because the people that usually call you a bitch and hoe couldn't, in my opinion, really either fuck you, because usually when people call you a bitch or hoe, they're trying to smash and then they fail, so they'll just like call you a bitch or some shit like that. Um, Now this is this is what I want, and maybe I'm gonna look for it myself. But I would love the help of black women. Like point me into directions of who would you, and especially black women, anybody, but point to me in a direction who, or throw names out. Who would you consider the Harriet Tubman of our generation, the Asada Shakur, the Betty Shabazzes, the Angela Davis? Who would y'all consider that in this generation? It's like I've been around, but if you, like I said, I haven't been living under a rock. But at the same time, when you tell me this person is the Betty Shabazz of, like, I love Cardi B, but I wouldn't call her the Betty Shabazz of this generation. I love damn. See, but this is me, and I'm doing this straight off the top. You know, there are people that I respect, and like some of them are YouTubers. Like I love Lovely T. I feel like she could become like the Betty Shabazz in there because she's very logical. There are some black women that I do follow on YouTube, but there are like, are they there yet? I don't know. I don't know. Like the one girl, the one woman I named, Lovely T, and she's a YouTuber, and I've that's the first name to come up on the top. Like, but other than that, and I'm not like I said, I'm not saying this to discourage women or put women down, especially our sisters. I'm not saying to do that. I just would like to see someone what I could say like, yo, she put in the work. Like even when men come around, it was like, yeah, she put in that work. You don't put her name. Like I just I just listened to a podcast from Tariq Nasij, and he was talking about Francis Scott Welch, and he was like, you don't even fix your lips about saying something discouraging about Francis Scott Welch. You just don't do that. Like now, I feel like people do that for people, but it's more or less for artists like Megan and I do not have a problem with Megan Thee Stallion. People like a Megan Thee Stallion or Lizzo, and it's okay. Like it's okay for fans to do it, but sometimes people do go overboard with it, especially like the whole Lizzo having an ass out and people supporting it. I feel like if you was a real fan, you'd be like, "Nah, that ain't the move." I understand you want to be body positive, but that's the move. But I done talked about that many a times. We're not gonna get back into it. So, um, let me bottom line this: anybody that's willing to, and I'm not like I'm really asking. I'm literally asking. Point me to some black women which that you would consider the Angela Davis, the Sada Shakur, the Betty Shabazz, and all that stuff. Just point them to the direction. I want to look them up, and I want to be wrong. And this is one of the people's like, I could be wrong. I want to be wrong about this, but I feel like there isn't one in this generation that from our generation. This is me speaking, our generation that I would consider I will put in the same names as the women's I've named before. So if you think they could be those in the making, please put it in the comment box, or please tell me, make a video response or something like that. I want to know. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace. Also, P.S. There's not many men I feel like that also from our generation. I don't feel like there's many men that fit that criteria either. So if you say so any women saying there's not that many men that feels that you feel the same way I feel about the women, I agree with you. I don't feel like there's that many men either. So with that saying, I'm out. Peace.